Well, I thought it was recording. I don't know what's wrong with it now. That GoPro. So here's the road in. So what I had to do was mulch an area in here, but he only told me one path. He said it don't have to be very wide, but this is where I'll have to dig that out, where it's coming down and it's washing different directions. So we're going to come in and dig all this up enough like that, just so that way it'll fall down in there. Machine's getting hot because all that dirt and the sawdust, so I have to come in here, break it out. The problem with is over there, there's so much rock, and I just was sitting there thinking the whole time, I don't know if I want to keep doing it because I just ruined those set of knives. But I have to come in here and clean this up. But we're going to come in here with the excavator, come down here to see the proper lines right in here. You see that post, and then I'll just have to come in, and I'll have to come on the back side. So with the excavator I can rip all this out, and then see, this is where it's washing out. Where that comes down, and see, all this is wet, and this is what's washing out that way. There's the road right there, so it just comes all around, and it's just spider webbed. That's what's washing it out, and then also it's going over there, so I'm redirecting it. So, but the problem is, this is a little valley down slope, and then that goes up, and I mean, I could dig it the same length, but I'll have to start that way and then work my way over here, so that way it'll be level enough to go out that way, because that's what he wants me to do, is go that way. So we're going to go ahead and get the machine cleaned up, blew off, and I'll show you my camp. That way I can get it up, get everything set up and everything, and then call the customer about the rocks, because the rocks is just too much for my liking. Man, this place is full of cedar. We'll have to come back in here, pull it back out. I mean, I wouldn't mind mulching this because there ain't no rocks. Rip everything down, mulch it up. But see, I came in here because I couldn't get on the back side, and then now I mulched everything. Now I can get back here. So let's go ahead and get camp ready, and then get some burgers on the grill, and we'll park this over where the trailer's at, because I'm afraid somebody's going to steal it, because I can't hear them or see them because it's way over that way. Alright, so got the grinder out. You can see, hurts my feelings. Some of them's got some taking out a lot more chunks. I mean, these do decent, but I think because we're hitting soft material, but still, I mean, it's curling pretty hard. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit these real quick, and then we'll go, and I got the machine blew off with the Eco Dookie right there. It says like 40 minutes of high power use, but it don't. So got it best I could, cleaned it up, and then where this thing's been rained on, and then plus that dirt job we done made an absolute mess. But I'll have to go back to the trailer and clean it up. I got this open so it'll cool off a little faster, but gotta get that cleaned up, and then we'll start that up. But here's my little camp, the little chunks like that right there, you know, just throwing them over there. It's a little windy, but I'm hoping within the next 30-40 minutes it'll it'll slow down with the wind. So I got a bunch of that. I'm gonna get it cut too. That way I'll have fire for the rest of the night to hang out with. So I put it on the dirt, and I was gonna rake with the shovel, rake some of that back so that way it won't get out that way. But that's just where I'm gonna hang out a little bit. So a little muddy. I don't grease it at the end of the day. I wait till the next day. That way the grease will have time to cool down, and then I guess harden back up a little bit, or go back to the stuff. And I'm gonna cut that cedar tree up. Go ahead and get the pads good enough a little bit. So we'll go ahead and grind these down a little bit, and then we'll park it at the trailer, and then we'll walk back. That's rolling. Got the burgers done. Got me some Little Debbie's, a little drink. I got this right here to keep it from smoking. Yeah, you can keep it. That way it don't smoke, it actually just keeps heat and keeps the flame going. It's kind of windy too. Luckily everything's so green. I'm throwing this mulch where I mulched it down a little bit. Set my camp up right here. Got those logs. I'm gonna chop those up in the next 30-40 minutes. Keep those chunks. Got my grill, which my grill didn't work out. The little pegs, I got them over there, but take these little slivers, throw them on top, these little chunks. Keep her going. Got my drinks. Got everything but beer. Should have grabbed me some. As stressful as this year's been, but we got this going. Got a little bit of heat, not too bad. The smoke would stop getting in my eyes, burning me. And then got my food there. I'm gonna go ahead and eat before it gets cold. Well, a little rough night, no big deal, but it's hard sleeping those little back seats. But man, my back sure does hurt. But once I get back home, it'll straighten it back out. right, so what I was doing was, me and the customer talked about, because there's a lot of rock and it's big old massive plates, and I mean, look at these cedars. I mean, they're huge. I'm mulching up money. So the dozer pushed everything up. I got the skid steer over there, so my plan is to spend probably all day today. I think I should be able to get to it and then come in and mulch all like the little prickly stuff, because I'm not going to be able to go as far. And so I'm just getting all the cedar trees, and I'm just going to cut them and just throw them out of the way. Got my crappy Husqvarna. I've had trouble since I've bought it. So I'm trying to come in and just kind of push around and then push the dirt. It's got junk dirt. So my plan is, like, you know, I got that stuff ripped out best I can, and just kind of come in and mulch just a little bit, and then rip up some of the trees, just kind of thin it out. That way when they're hunting, it'll be at least thinned out. And then when I can, I'll just pick these up and just throw them in the pile. So my plan is to get up all of it in big piles, and I'm kind of working all this, just kind of pushing down, and then taking all this, cutting it up, you know, cutting off the junk, and then kind of cleaning up all this, kind of raking it all up. So just trying to come in here because it's really, really rocky. And I figured if I can come in and rake out and pull out some of the, you know, little scraggly trees, and then come in and mulch it. So this is what I'm talking about. You know, this kind of rock, it's everywhere. So, you know, there, it's just chunks. That's not too bad, but it's like that over there. It's just solid big chunk of rock. So if I can come in and just kind of thin it out, that's the best way I'm gonna be able to do it. So, and then I'm gonna get all this cleaned up, raked out, pushed, and then these trees, because that's all he did was just push it, and it just forked right down through there. So I'm gonna rip everything out, mulch it up. Luckily it's cedar. If it was hardwoods, it'd take me probably a week. And so clean all this up, and then I'm gonna start down that way, start raking out more, and then raking up around the trees, just kind of thin it out on that lower side. Just pull it out so that way it thins it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this tree and start cleaning up a little bit more and see what we can't do, and the customer should be here in a little bit. All right, so the customer is still here, but we looked at everything with all the rocks, so he just told me keep pushing and reaching out best I can, so that way the deer can have somewhere to hide out, but also be seen, because this is for hunting. So we got a different objective now, other than trying to clean this. As you can see, all this over here, we're supposed to be able to see through it, but there's so much rock, I just can't get in there to do what I need to do. So I got a little bit of an easier objective now, so just push what I can and then push the dozer piles. So that's a little better, but ain't as bad, but these dozer piles are pretty rough, so I just got to get in there and clean them up. And just found out that he's allergic to cedars, so which is crazy. Love the smell of cedars. So I'm dozing getting all the dozer piles. So we're gonna do the mulching last. So probably after lunch we'll start mulching. That way I can spend the day getting everything mulched up and raked out at the end of the day. So that way we can get everything done. it was anything else like hardwoods, I would never been able to finish. We're gonna be spending a pretty good while here because there's a bunch of stumps and rocks. So we're gonna have to figure out where to put this stuff. I like dozers, but man, they make a mess. Let's see if we can get this pushed. This dirt's like dark brown. It's the junk. See, it's dark. All the dirt, because you can see, I mean, it's nothing but rock right here. So I'm just trying to rake everything off and out of the way. That way I can break everything loose and then come back for it later and then clean it up, but also clean up the little stuff. It's going pretty good, little wind. This should be cooking for another 6 minutes. Just gonna heat the hot dog up, turn it, get it a little grilled. It's a little toasty. So we're gonna do them pretty good. I'll have all my stuff burn. Try to burn it off. I'll sit here and relax for a minute. All right, so got somewhat of the dozer piles on the lower end cleaned up. So I just raked everything out. So I'm gonna try to mulch everything up and then come back in and finish up the rest. Got the excavator over there, and then I just made a pile, and then he don't want me to push any more down that way, so that way we can that way the deer don't have a hidden path to be in. So I'm gonna try to get some of these chunks cleaned up. We'll get go ahead and start mulching, so that way tomorrow, hopefully by tomorrow, we'll have most of this mulched up. So I'm gonna try to save some of these logs and just throw them out of the way, and then we'll be mulching the edges and then finishing the trench. So I like to be done with the mulching, but I don't think we'll be done with all the dozer piles just yet. So a lot of logs too, and then it's got that junk dirt. So we got quite some stuff to mulch up, so we're going to go ahead and start mulching. That way at least we can get at least half or 3/4 of it done, because all we got to do is move the logs. So if that's how we can end the day, that'd be great. And then maybe at the end of the day or night, we can at least start the trench, or at least get up earlier, an extra hour, and finish the trench out or start the trench. Let's get to it.